Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be detailing all of the QC issues I've had on mice in the past and ones that I've currently. And I'm making this video to kind of correct myself on the mistakes I made in my last video, which is basically just me saying I was returning the Superlight 2. And I deleted that video because I was incorrect on some things and I got some hate for it, which was kind of justified, I will admit. And also, I'm just kind of sick and tired of making these returning videos where I just spend 10 minutes talking about how I'm returning one mouse. So I'll try to make this a little bit shorter, just work with me here. So I'll just go through all the QC issues I've had in the past, going like one by one. So first, like QC issue I've had with like a mouse is probably the Death Adder version 2. That was like very flexy, very like creaky, and that was like $70 at the time. I got that like 2 years ago, and it was $70 at the time, and it was very, very creaky, very just not built that well. The shell was just it was really, really bad, and I made a video reviewing that about 1 year later, and I made a video already reviewing that and like detailing the QC issues. So yeah, if you want to go through into more detail, you can. However, this is mainly just me explaining things, and also again, I don't want to make this video too long, so again, watch that video if you care about that at all. My second QC issue is probably with the Model D, which had a squeaky scroll wheel that was just annoying as hell. However, it seemed to have somewhat fixed itself. I don't know how, but I didn't open the mouse or try to do anything to fix it. It just kind of fixed itself. So I guess that's not a QC issue at that point, but also just glorious mice, especially just the like baseline Model O and Model D, not like the new ones, like the old ones were built like shit. And I basically got that mouse only for Minecraft. And I want to talk about the first major QC issue I've had on a mouse, because this is the part where I think I am justified, given the fact that I wanted to return a mouse. This is like inexcusable. I don't hear what you say in the comments, like hate comments, whatever. It is saying you shouldn't be returning a lot of these mice. These ones I should. And I think I'm justified given the fact that I did. The Ninjutso, the one that I got, which I paid $90 for, had a sensor skipping issue, which is way more common on like very cheap mice. However, on this mouse, it happened, and it was just randomly skipping. It was randomly stuttering, where it would just not move the sensor for like a second, and then it'll move it again. It was extremely annoying and unplayable. And when I contacted Ninjutso about it, they said it themselves that it was defective, and they just gave me the refund right off the bat without even me having to return the mouse, which props to Ninjutso for that. However, I'm still upset, and I'm even more upset given the fact that the red Ninjutso also has the same issue, on my copy at least. And they said that they fixed the issue because according to them, it was because they positioned the sensor too high, so that's what was causing the sensor stuttering issue. However, when I pre-ordered the red Ninjutso a month later, when I was using it, it stuttered, and it still is, and it is very annoying, and again, unplayable. Just, I can't play with this mouse, because it will just randomly, out of nowhere, just, it won't work properly, for like a second, and especially in like FPS games, that is crucial time. No matter what, in FPS games, that is inexcusable, and yeah. I'm very skeptical of buying any Ninjutso mouse at this point. I'm still debating on whether I want to get the Ninjutso 4K. However, at this point, I'm going to probably just try out a different shape anyway. So I'm probably just not even going to go with it anyway. So yeah, and I will contact Ninjutso about that in more detail like later on, and I'll probably just contact them. However, it is past my return window, so I'll probably have to maybe get that fixed up for like warranty maybe, but that is also going to be a hassle. So again, I'll contact Ninjutso and talk about that at a later time. However, let's go through the other major issues I've had. First of all, with the Death Adder version 3, which was my longtime main, and is currently my main because, again, I'm returning my G Pro X Superlight 2. And on this mouse, it has a randomly actuating scroll wheel, which is pretty common for Razer mice and just some mice in general. However, it is pretty common on Razer mice, which is why I'm saying it's a QC issue, and this is happening only after about a year, or maybe like I think like I've had this mouse for like exactly like 10 or 11 months, but I'll say like a year. Only having this mouse for like a year, and it is already having this like randomly actuating scroll wheel, which is randomly actuating game, and is again extremely annoying and just very, very infuriating, especially when I'm using like scroll wheel for like changing weapons or jumping in games. I'll just randomly jump in game when I'm not even actuating the scroll wheel, not even touching the scroll wheel. It will just jump me up for no reason at all, because the encoder, they need to improve the encoder, because something might have happened with the encoder. Maybe there's like a lot of dust in there. So I don't know. I might open this up, but most likely I'll just send this to Razer and have them like put a new encoder in or something, because I don't want to have to fix a mouse that I paid $150 for. And that is the big problem. I've wasted so much money on a lot of these mice when like basically two of them shouldn't have these QC issues like at all, especially when you're paying this much. Razer, put a better fucking encoder on your fucking mouse. It's not that hard, please. Like, put some sort of dust-proof encoder. It shouldn't be that hard, especially when you're paying $150 for a mouse. Ugh, but now I have the Burst Pro Air, which I got for like $30, so I'm not gonna be like harping on this mouse for too long. However, this also has a QC issue where there's just a bunch of flex, especially at the front. You can really hear that. Like, yeah, it flexes a lot. But again, it's $30, so I'm a little bit more lenient on it. However, I've had mice that have already returned and that I don't have currently, which are more minor QC issues, which I do think you are justified given the fact that if you want to hate me on me for returning these, because these are more nitpicky, which are the Pulsar X2 V2, which had a mushy right mouse button that felt awful, at least to me, for more like just normal mouse users that aren't very, very nitpicky. They probably wouldn't care if they got the copy that I got. However, for me at least, it was very, very noticeable and it was just bad. Second was the OP1WE, which had a very loose feeling right mouse button where it just felt extremely cheap. Not like mushy, but like cheap in general. Like the tensioning was terrible on like my OP1WE on my copy, so I returned that. And yeah, that's basically it. I also returned the Lambs to Atlantis for a way more minor reason, not even like a tensioning issue, mainly just because there was a bunch of pre-travel and post-travel on the clicks. So yeah, that's basically it. And again, I detailed this way more in detail in like my reviews and my first impression videos. So if you want to watch that, you can. However, again, I don't have a lot of these mice that I'm talking about because I've already returned them. So if you want to talk about me actually having the mouse and using it in hand and giving my thoughts on it more in detail, you can watch those videos. But I'm just making this video to clarify the QC issues I've had in the past and to give you more perspective as to why I'm so frustrated. Oh, and also my most recent mouse, again, the G Pro X Superlight 2, had a very, very big issue on my copy, which was double clicking. And I don't know, I think it might just be my copy because I've seen no other person talking about this, and I think this would be a more common issue if this happened on like every copy, because this was also a pretty common issue on the first Superlight. So if it was very, very common, I think more people would comment on the double clicking. However, nobody has said anything about double clicking on the G Pro X Superlight 2, and they do have an eager debounce like setting like more Logitech mice. However, again, even with that like eager debounce on my copy, it double clicked, and I don't want that in the mouse at all. I know that's rich coming from a Minecraft once Minecraft PvPer. However, I really just don't want double clicking at this point because I'm trying to get rid of double clicking, especially for games like Geometry Dash, which I'm getting more back into because 2.2 just came out, and I'm just getting more back into playing Geometry Dash, and I don't want double clicking because double clicking is the bane of every player's existence in that game, because you really have to be precise with your clicks, and it randomly clicking twice is basically a deal breaker for any mouse at this point. If I can't set the debounce, or if there isn't like something that automatically just prevents double clicking altogether, I'm probably just not going to get the mouse. So yeah, I know again that is being nitpicky. However, for the games that I am wanting to play and for what I'm trying to do, I don't want a mouse that double clicks, and I don't want like ones with a bunch of QC issues. And I know a lot of this is me being nitpicky and just me, again, just going out of my way to get very, very frustrated. However, I think I feel like the nth millionth time, I've like been repeating myself because I don't have a script. However, I think, again, I'm a little justified about how angry and just tired I am of returning a lot of mice because I'm just very, very unlucky. And I just want a mouse that doesn't have QC issues, or at least major ones. Like, maybe a minor one is fine. Just ones that don't have major QC issues, that actually work properly, that aren't defective like the fucking Ninjutso Sora, and that also just don't have double clicking. So, yeah. That's basically going to be it. I know I am recording this on Christmas, so this is a kind of downer of a Christmas video, you could say. However, I'll make a more jolly video about me, like, just detailing all the Christmas gifts I got. So, yeah, have a Merry Christmas to everyone watching this on Christmas, if you care. So, yeah, that's basically going to be it, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.